Yes. Audio? Are we here? Yes. Yes, we got audio! Hooray. Why is chat disabled? Why are we doing this? What are we would do? What? Why? Why? What are we doing here? Why we got like? Why? Why is disabled? Why? Huh? What? I want to see people. Why can't I? Oh, this sucks. Why? YouTube, really? Why did you have to? Yeah, no, I have it enabled. You what? No. Okay, well, that's fine. Hello, I'm doing a tutorial right now. This is going great so far. I can't see anybody. That's great. I'm going to open it up on my phone now since I don't have anything else for me to look at chat on. That should not be what I need to do. I came very prepared today for me to do this. Hold on. 1 second. It is very late right now for me, by the way. It's 12 a.m. Yeah. I'm doing real good right now. Where can I not even? There we go. Yay! Hello, everybody. Now I can see people. Yes, macOS setup files. We got them. I went out of my way to get the macOS stuff on here, so that'll make it a lot easier for people. All right, let's start. So, hello. Yeah. So right now, this is basically the entire work area for the current viewer. Now, we currently got the 2 different setup files, and we also got the 2 run viewer scripts that are right here. Now, whenever you're running, now I'm gonna go into full tutorial mode, by the way, so I'm not probably gonna read anybody in chat currently. But I do appreciate everybody that's here if you are seeing this live. But I'm basically going to go through here. I'm going to describe everything that I can with the viewer just to be able to get everybody on the same page and to be able to help everybody with this. So let's go ahead and get started. So got the macOS scripts here. You want to only run these if you're on macOS. If you're on Windows, obviously they're not even going to do anything. But you want to always run the setup file first whenever you first install this Aniviewer, since otherwise it's not gonna. All of your dependencies and everything for this script to even run, you need to have Python 13.9 specifically. I have that listed in the Game Banana page, but I'm going to make it more. I'm gonna basically. That's a requirement. Now I know I say 3.10 and up, but don't use 3.10. It's old, very old. So don't use that. But okay, so I'm gonna first start out by running the setup file right here, and it basically grabs everything in terms of just what needs the script to be able to, like what the script needs to be able to run here. And there's additional stuff in here that I just automated, and hopefully it makes it easier for people, especially for outputting Photoshop files on here. That should make it a little bit easier for you all. But once you get that setup file run on there, macOS should be very similar, but instead of just double clicking, I'm pretty sure the shell script will not just run like that in macOS. You gotta do chmod plus X on it in the terminal. On both the setup and run viewer scripts on here, but that's also another thing. If you want to look up a tutorial on how to use chmod, it's not too difficult. You'll just want to put those on both of those files, since Apple requires some signature stuff, and it just says permission denied whenever you try running it initially. But right now I don't currently have a way around that. So let's real quick just run the setup.bat file, and this will run. Oh, not the setup. Sorry, I'm a little bit flabbergasted here. Let's get that. Then basically this setup thing, not setup thing, this run viewer thing, it just basically pops up with this viewer thing. This viewer thing, yeah. Uh, but then this opens up the viewer. This is the GUI for the viewer. It gives you all the power you need to be able to edit animations and everything. But here I will just slowly go through everything bit by bit and make it digestible for you all. So this search menu that's right here. Now this is what's on 0.41, the that beta version. Now this is not actually the default one. I'm going to show you what the new one looks like in a second. But this is the old one currently, and you can switch to this one if you want to, since it is more verbose and it gives you more options to be able to choose from. These are all the bin files inside of the game. This is all the bins that the game uses for animations and also other additional information as well. But whenever it first starts you out on here, now I'm just going to describe it for this specific search menu that's right here. You do not want to load any of these bin files. They are okay. So I've had many people come to me, not come to me personally, but I've had many questions saying, "Oh, I can't load any bin files." You do not load these files. These files are specifically for track information. They basically tell the game what audio file to load. Now, that's pretty neat. Also, by the way, I incorporated that, I guess, function and just maths. I'll put it that way since it's a bunch of nerdy stuff anyway. But it basically now, whenever you load animations, it automatically grabs the right audio file every time. It's every time. It does not miss anymore. I've tested it on so many different things. It's a lot better and more accurate than it was in the last version. So I went through and did all of that. There are a lot of really neat quality of life fixes that I added into this that I think you guys will all appreciate. So right now, got all those on there. So yeah, don't load any of these, but if you press M on your keyboard, then it'll jump you down to the M section that's on here. Now that's very important, because all of the monster animation files usually start with monster on here, and you can differentiate that if you want to. It basically gives you all of them on here. That can be rather daunting, so what I'm going to show you next is, well, yeah, I mean, not Tweedle. Tweedle's just there. But let me real quick go into the application settings and the bare bones search for bin/JSON files. Now that's what we have on here right now. But if I uncheck that, it opens up this new thing. Let's see what happens whenever I click on it. There we go. So this is the new GUI specifically for searching for monsters. Now it gives you the book profile like pictures pretty much for each of the epic, rare, and normal monsters for I guess all of them. I mean, there are some that are missing. Now I know this for sure because there's just specific ones that are not in here. But that should, I mean, it's kind of like a compromise since I didn't want to make this too cluttered with other things that don't even have like the pictures that you need on them. So this has, in a general sense, all of them. So that gives you a pretty good idea of just what to expect with this new update. It gives you, yeah, it allows you to just click on them, and then you can load the new monster animation that way if you want to. And there's also a search bar in there if you want to use it. Now, I have to mention, just real fast, I have to preface this search function that's on here is very slow at the moment. It is, I haven't optimized it currently, so it's it tries loading all of the files and stuff in there currently. So just bear with me on that. I'm sure that I like 100%. I will get to that in the next update. Just so then so you guys are aware for that. But I'm going to switch back to the bare bones search menu on there, so then I can real quick show you a few more things. So let's go back to Tweedle real quick. Load Tweedle up. Now this entire interface might be a little bit daunting. There's a lot of daunting things when it comes to this thing, but it gives you enough power to be able to do what you want in it. And I hope that anybody that uses this viewer in the future is able to use it as a tool in like the animation stuff that you want to work on. I just really hope that people are able to use it to be as creative as they want with this game, since I've always been a fan of it, so I appreciate pretty much anything that anybody puts out. But this yeah, okay, so then let's start with the animations. So whatever animation that you want to load, now these numbers that are here at the beginning basically show what island the animation is from. So now that's not always the case, since 0-1 is usually just the default and also Plant Island technically, but this is just the idle animation right here. And then the next one is for Cold Island, obviously. Then Air Island right there. Then Water. Then Earth. Then Gold. Then Tribal. And then yeah, Fire Haven. And then this is Fire Oasis. But basically this gives you all the animations that you need. Now some of the monsters, whenever you load them, they might not have all of them. Specifically for Wobox right here, which is monster_F in the file search menu right there. And that just has, like, if you just do Monster F, it's just Plant Island and then Gold Island, which they're just bundled into one thing. But it also has a bunch of other bin files that are down here. These are for the individual islands that Wobox is on. For some reason, at one point in development, they decided to split it up into different bin files. So 7. I don't know why. That's pretty interesting. I didn't even realize that the Ethereal Island is in there too. But okay. All right. Now we got that out of the way. Well, we can just pretty much load whoever we want to. There's Thrumble. We can load a new animation for this guy. Bone Island is one of my favorites, by the way. Bone Island's good. Now in this new update, you got a new custom costume menu where you can choose whatever costume for the monster that you want. So it goes ahead and loads it for you. And I spent so long getting the logic right on this guy in terms of the costume loading. It was a nightmare, but this is probably the one feature that took me the longest time out of all of it. The past 2 weeks I've pretty much spent working on this. But it works mostly now. There's like 3 or 4 costumes, maybe even more if I haven't seen them yet, that do not look quite right, but I have a majority, like 99% of the costumes that you load into this thing, it's going to look perfect, which is exactly what I wanted out of this. And then so now this next section that's right here is the pose influence. Now this is very early stages in terms of like keyframe and animation manipulation in the program. Now it's not super well fleshed out yet. But I am currently working on that. It probably the next update, it's going to be a little bit more robust, and then I'll build on that again, and then I'll make it even more robust. But right now, it is as bare bones as it gets, because this was a pain in the butt, I can tell you, to get in here for it to even work as well. It doesn't work well, but it at least works in the sense that it allows you to edit animations almost. Um, but I will show you real quick on how this guy works. Now, there's the propagate forward, which is a little bit of a different way of handling the positional data whenever you move around. So I'll show you both of them, and then yeah. Let me real quick. Now you can. Oh yeah, let me move on over to the layers menu right here, since I need to go into that to show you how this works. So currently, this is a new redesigned layer menu, which before it was a little bit more bare bones than it is now. But right now, I currently had, so these individual layers might not load depending on what monster you currently have. It might not. Here, I don't know if it. Yeah, probably just loaded another one. But the unused layers, it's basically just like showing you whatever layers the monster uses. Now, some of them just expose layers for some reason, and I just thought it would be neat to have that as an option. You don't need to have them shown or anything. It adds more of the layers, which can be kind of clunky. If you don't want that, you can just turn it off. But these are all the layers for the currently loaded monster in here. It gives you all of them, and you can just select individual ones if you want to. And there's new boxes that show which ones you currently have selected in there. But let's say that I wanted to take the right and there we go. Right and left arms, and I wanted to move them just a little bit away from where the current animation is. Then I will take these guys and move. Oh wait, no, hold on. Let me lock them. So the lock selection thing basically locks these guys together. Now it works for pretty much every like segment in here. So now all of these guys are locked together. And what locked together means is they move together with each other. It's basically locking them together. Words, yeah. Now let's say that I want to move these guys down a little bit. Then I would record that pose. Now, sometimes the parented layers move alongside with them. That's something that I plan on editing so it doesn't do that, or if you want it to do that, you can have it happen. But right now, that's what it does, and I'm still investigating that issue. But now the arms and the hands both move together, and they move downwards. Yeah, this is a very good. This is working. This is working better for Drumpler than I thought it would. But now if I want to, you know what? I'll go out of my way to hope this might and the body. Sure. We'll lock those together. And then let's say that I want to move them. Oh, jeez. Let's move it then. And then we'll record the pose. And yeah, see, it is very much in terms of implementation is very early on currently. But yeah, it's a little a little strange. But that's how I'm gonna ship it for this update, but I will improve on it in the future, I promise. And then there's also propagate forward, which is just a different way of moving the sprites around. So I will show you what that looks like whenever I do. Let's just move them. And then, yep, other than, so it's just a different logic going into it whenever you're moving around the different layers and everything. It looks slightly different. I just thought I would add it so then it can I guess add more functionality to it. It didn't take too much longer for me to add the propagate forward in there, but all right. Now, next thing that I can go on to is the scale. Now, this scales everything. if you could guess by that, it scales everything evenly. So it basically whatever you have currently in the viewer, it just scales that up. Now I currently have it set up so then whenever you use the scroll wheel, it centers whatever sprites you have currently loaded. So if I wanted to put it at a scale of 10 and then I scroll, then it basically locks it back into where it needs to be. Now, whenever you put the scale higher like this, it will export as higher resolutions inside of the viewer. Whenever you have, we'll get to that. Whenever you have other files and stuff that you export as that, it will do that. Let's go back to a scale 1 though, and then clear all those things on there, and then let's, you know what, just to freshen things up a little bit. Oh yeah, because I have it set up to do that. There we go. All right, and then we will move on to another monster just to freshen up a little bit. No. Let's get somebody with a little bit more. Yeah, blur it. That works. We'll just load a shadow islet. Why not? Okay. That's a good frame right there. And then the base world scale. This basically it just basically it's what it says it does. It converts JSON coordinates to screen space. It's from what I analyzed via Ghidra, so I just mentioned that. It it has some wacky effects. I'll put it that way. And then there's also, so now we got the sprite placement adjustments. Now the drag speed, which is usually set to that is just set to 1, but this basically just shows how like it changes how fast the sprite dragging is for that. Then you can also make it slower if you want to. And it basically, in turn, whenever you do that, it makes it more precise whenever you're moving them around. And then I will move that back to 1, so I can just, yeah. Whenever you set it to 1, it's just wherever your cursor is on there. It'll just work with it. All right. I'll just reset the offsets on there. And then rotating the gizmo size, it basically just changes the ring that you have around the rotation. I call them gizmos. They're pretty fun and quirky and whatever you want to say for that. But it basically allows you to rotate the individual layers like that, and you can place them wherever you want. Now for the animation BPM. Now this is pretty fun. The audio stretching currently is still a little bit temperamental. I tried my best to be able to get this to work like not desync eventually, but not eventually. If you change the BPM a lot, it eventually gets desynced and stuff. But yeah, it just I'll end up fixing that too. But we're gonna, and then pitch shifting the audio does exactly what you think it would do. Now you can also turn off the syncing the audio if you for some reason want to do it that way. You can do it that way. Alright, and then there's the scale gizmo overlay, which is normally I will pause the obnoxious animation real quick, just to showcase this. So the circle that's right here usually indicates that you have the scale mode set to uniform. That will scale. What do I have currently? Hold on. Let's do the torso. Can I? There we go. So it basically scales everything up evenly like that. If you want to do it like that, or you can set it to per axis, which is your x and y. So width, and then your height can allow you to change it on both ends if you do so choose. And then you got a fat bubble butt going on there. I'm going to reset that. There we go. And then now, yep, gizmo overlay. There you go. Now, and let me add one more thing real quick. with the layer menu. Now you can also change the layer order now, the hierarchy for it, which is pretty neat if you wanted to just change it around. And we'll reset the order on there. All right. Now, next thing, anchor overlay. So this shows all the anchors of the current monster that's loaded. I will change your animation real quick. And then it basically shows all the anchors currently. Now this can behave very differently than just dragging the sprite. Yeah. I don't want to go into too much detail for that, but yeah, you basically can change the anchors around if you do so choose. And then the parent overlay basically shows all the parents currently. Like I said earlier, so you basically for animation terminology, the parents are well, not always, but it's basically the sprite that has a bunch of children, which are the sprites that are kind of connected to it, and in this sense, anyway. And you can basically drag it around, and then it basically shows where they're all connected to, in that way. And then I will reset that. There we go. And then next one, anchor drag precision. So this is really neat. For it's basically it's hold on. It's the drag speed again, but it's basically for anchors, so it allows you to be nice and precise with it if you do inquire about it. I don't know if that's the right word to use for that. But there you go. And then once we get that done for that, now we got the fun yes, the fun options. I'll put it that way. We'll get rid of the anchor overlay real quick. If you couldn't tell, I'm very tired, but I'm getting through this. I want to make sure that you guys know what you're getting into whenever the new update drops. So the anchor bias X basically just shifts all of the sprites X, Y, and whatever, keeps whatever initial positioning in, like, and then it changes the X and Y. And then the Y is like this. It does that, but different in the Y direction. And then there's the local position multiplier, which changes the local position multiplier, whatever your current local position is, and you can do weird stuff like this, and it turns into a worm. It is crazy. Then let me go to the parent mix, which basically gets you all of WoW. I didn't know it would do that. Why did it do that? What is apparently okay? That's new. I haven't seen that before. We're both seeing this for the first time. I that's pretty interesting. But it basically takes all the parents and shifts them wherever they need to be. For it's like the global wherever the positioning is for it. I'm trying to put this in words that are easier to understand. Now, then there's this, which is basically the rotation bias. So it rotates all of your sprites in a very washing machine type effect almost. And then we'll go back to 0 there. And then the scale bias X basically scales all of your sprites via the x-axis or the y-axis, depending on what you want to do with it. Make it into an abomination. And then this offsets all the sprites by x, and then this does the same thing but for y. And then there's the trim shift multiplier, which it's basically that I believe that's that's the Atlas related one. Let me put all of them back. There we go. And then there's the bone overlay, which basically gives you all your bones for the current loaded animation. Let me real fast load to a new monster. We'll do Jill Billy. That's fine.
Beam bop a doom dop ding dot day day beam bop a doom bop a dee dot dow.
True. All right, and then we got anti-aliasing. If you don't know what anti-aliasing is, keep that enabled. You don't need to. And then now we got the fun export options. Wahoo! I'm going to go in the settings menu real quick. You got PNG export. This is as basic as it gets. It basically exports your current frame as a PNG, whatever frame that you have loaded currently. You can change the output resolution. The full resolution output is basically, it takes all the sprite segments individually and it keeps their initial resolution, so it's going to be big whenever it is output. If you disable this, whatever you currently have inside the viewport, which is this bounding box, like I said earlier, it basically just captures whatever you have in there. So if you wanted it to be real small, you could do that. And then let me re-enable that. Compression level is what it says it is. It basically, just gives you the compression levels for it. Let's export that as PNG. Let's just do jelly. We'll export jelly. And then there you go. It just exports it as a PNG file. If you there we go. Yep, there he is. And then now, next, what I shall do, you can export as animation frames. Let me real quick before I do that. It is very much, it exports every single frame as a PNG, which is, it is, do I have memory? Yes, I do have a memory for this guy. Yeah, that should be fine. That's a really long memory animation. I'm kind of interesting. All right, well, and then just for the sake of the tutorial, why not? Frames. We'll just call that frames. And then now, I'm streaming right now, which is using resources on my PC, which is making it gonna. Okay. Well, anyway, while this is going on, I will throw on some music. Why not? I don't know if you can hear that. No, you can hear that. You can definitely hear that. I'll make it a little bit quieter. Alright, and then now, it just exported as frames. Very good. Exactly what we want. L memory too. And then now, it just gives you every single frame of animation as a PNG. Wahoo! Now, we'll go back to good old Geode right here. And then exporting as PSD. This is this is real neat. I spent so long working on this, and I'm glad that it works. And also, I added stuff for PyDisshop to work on most PCs. If it still doesn't work, then my precautions do not work. All the PCs that I have VS Code, which is the reason why that entire thing was not working as it should. But I got it worked out. So now, I'm not gonna be creative with this one. There you go. just exports it. Let me real quick go over the settings for PSD real quick. Including the hidden layers, whatever layers are currently hidden on there, it'll just output them anyway. I just decided to add that since I thought it would be a pretty neat feature to add. And then there's the full resolution output. Same thing, very similar to how PNG does it. Full res scale multiplier. It basically just applies on top of the native sprite resolution. That's how that does it. Yeah. And then the layer quality. This is the type of scaling that you have on it. So you got lensos and then bicubic, bilinear, nearest, all your regular scaling stuff. Then your resolution scale, you can put it at however high of a resolution you want to put it at. It basically just, whatever the viewport size is, it scales it to it. And then channel compression, whatever your, it's, yeah. I don't even need to describe anything. I already put in the text for it. And then crop the canvas content, just crops to whatever your, whatever you currently have animation-wise. It's very similar to how the fit to view. Where hey, I don't even need to. I can't scroll while I'm in the settings menu, obviously. But the fit to view, that's pretty much what that does, and it crops it to whatever size fits all of the segments. And then match viewer zoom pan as what it describes. And then I already exported the PSD, so we will open that up now. Alright, and then now that is exported. Crazy. It just pretty much gives you access to all the individual layers. Sweet. And then we'll just exit out of that since we don't need it anymore. Alright. And then now we got exporting as MOV. Now, this is the real steak and potatoes. I'm not going to actually export as MOV because it takes a little bit. Currently, right now, we do have multi-threaded exporting in the program, but it is not the quickest, and I've tried optimizing it. Believe me, I've tried, but right now, currently, it is not super quick, so I'm just gonna skip over it. It's basically just exporting as a transparent MOV if you want to do that. We have a bunch of other codecs to choose from. Yeah, just these right now. And you got lossless, and then you got all your other quality settings, full resolution output. You can only guess what that means. It's the same as the other two, pretty much. All right. Next thing, WebM. That's a new one. That was not in the previous version. WebMs are pretty much these freaking weird files, I'll put it that way. You can get transparent videos to work on Discord. Now, I have to mention here, so even though it says that, like, I put in Discord in there, it only works on the PC version of Discord because mobile version of Discord is just a wasteland of stuff that the developers decided to think that was interesting. But yeah, no, the actual, like, web-based Discord that, not web-based, you don't have to access it on a browser or anything, but like the program Discord on your PC should work fine. It's just transparent videos, and they do have audio in them. And then you get your other codecs and everything. Now, this one with alpha does not work in Discord. Obviously, this doesn't have alpha, so. One thing I do plan on adding in the future is to have colored backgrounds if you want to for your exporting. I couldn't get to it in this release, unfortunately, but I will in the future. Now, exporting as a GIF is pretty self-explanatory. Hold on one second. Water. So exporting as a GIF exports it as a GIF. How wonderful! How wonderful! That's how Discord servers have been flooded since this released. I do appreciate that. It's real neat. I've watched a bunch of people make some really neat stuff out of this so far, and it's by far the easiest way to share these things. And then you got audio. Obviously, it's audio. I don't know how else to describe it other than it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so this is an often overlooked thing. You can basically save whatever segments you have in places on player segments. And now, let's say that I reset all of them, and let's say that I want to load them again, and be like, oh man, I really like that thing that I just made. Well, guess what? They're all back, baby. They're exactly where they should be. And diagnostics logging is obnoxious, but it gives you a butt ton of information regarding the viewer and what you have currently loaded and also not loaded, and it's just... I made it as robust as possible, just if somebody needs to troubleshoot something very specific, you can just do it. And then credits and acknowledgements, it's pretty self-explanatory for that. Oh boy, that's a lot of words right there. Let's switch to yeah. So let's Vivian might be a good example. Where is your torso? I don't know where your torso. Oh, there. This is an indicator. I'm getting so tired. Oh yeah, I forgot the leaves for her are just everywhere, and they are not just a singular layer for some reason. Okay. Now I got all the leaves selected. You know what? No, I'm not gonna select all of them. Excuse me. We got a color editor in here now. You can change whatever color to that you want these to be. So let's say so. Right now, it is currently adjusting it depending on what the base color is. I don't currently, it currently right now doesn't have the ability to be able to adjust the actual color pigment itself inside of the thing, but I might be able to add something like that in the future. We'll see. I haven't looked into it too heavily. This is just basically a basic recolor thing. But yeah, it just gives you some tools to be able to recolor whatever you want on there. Alright, am I running out of things? Man, I've been so thorough in these past 44 minutes. Alright, and then yeah, you got shaders. Oh, I can go over the costumes now, can't I? A little. Let's see what came up here. Oh wait, no, shaders. Let's like. Oh, I know, man. Did that not load properly? Did I? No, it just doesn't want to load. I That's weird. Okay. But this uses a shader. It's the GLSL shader. It should, yes, just populate in there. You can edit it if you want to. It's basically just this guy down here, and then he does some funky shader stuff with it. I'm not gonna go too in depth in this tutorial. It's just a bunch of extra stuff. If you're a avid shader power user or something, if you want to change the shader, you can do that. And diagnostic logging stuff, if you were curious on what this is. Now, this is the FFmpeg installer. Apparently, no one looks here to find that this is where that's at. I added it in here specifically because it's a lot easier to incorporate in something like this. So, just installs it. Has a nice little loading bar. See, this is what you're missing. This is what you're missing right here. This right here. This is perfect. And now it's there, man. It's already installed. You got it. You got it. You can export MOVs all day, every day. That's all you needed to do, and it is all good. Other than that, man, shoot, we're already at the end of this thing. This is pretty good music for the ending sign off. I guess I could go over a few more things. So audio for problematic monsters it's working now. Got a whole buddy system going on in here, just for specific bins. And then let me real quick before I do anything, I'm gonna go look in chat. Let me do that. See if you guys have any questions. Green screen. Not right now. Not right now. I'm not doing green screens right now because if you can see that I am working on development of a revolutionary tool to replace those things. Now, I do understand on mobile it's going to be harder to be able to get things from this viewer onto mobile, but I have plans to eventually in the future be able to port this entire thing to mobile devices for people to use it. That's not going to be until a little bit later, since that's whole nother platform and things can easily break from version to version if I were to implement it now. I'm going to get this viewer at least into a release form for me to be able to do that. So right now it's Windows and Mac OS only, and maybe Linux possibly. I haven't tested it. I have seen people that have actually gotten it to work on Linux, so there you go. How do you install? Yeah, I showed how to install it. It is literally right here. It is inside of the settings pane. It just installs it for you. That's it. That's all you need to do. You probably will also need to restart the program whenever you install it, because otherwise it's gonna be funky and not want to work. But then you do it that way. Yeah. Well, okay. So saying that I'm not gonna do any more green screens, Dawn of Fire is a different beast in terms of creating an animation viewer for it. I have looked into it extensively, and it is a lot harder. Mostly because it uses Unity and it is not OpenGL. And I do not have experience with coding in Unity, so I do not have the ability to do that at the moment. But I might make more screens for Dawn of Fire. We'll see. Whenever I have the opportunity to do so, but I've been so very busy working on this turtle guy right here. But yeah, so if I'm just going to end off the tutorial here. It's just whatever this tool is just at your disposal. Whatever you want to do with it, you can do with it. But now I'm going to say that the release date for this thing is probably going to be tomorrow. there's a, well, not tomorrow. It's for me, it's 1 a.m. But technically today, I'm gonna sleep first. I need some sleep. But after that, it's free reign. We might get it tomorrow. Today. We'll get it today. I just have a few more weird issues like that one that just showed up earlier. With the mammoth not loading properly, the costume. But other than that, we should be all good. And I will get this out to everybody tomorrow. Yeah. Yep, so we should be all good to go. I will see you guys again soon, I guess. Maybe. We'll see. I do plan on doing more fun with the green screens, by the way. Probably under a different name, since that doesn't really make sense anymore, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, well, I might make more stuff, other than just update videos for this animation viewer, but we will see. Okay, well, I will see you guys later. See ya. I don't know how to end up live streams like this.